Alrighty, hello, hello. Can people see us? If you can see us, give me a hello from the chats. Alright, so I think we're all good. David, is the video playing on your side? Do you know?
No,
It's not. Alright,
no.
the video's playing on my side. Oh, okay, I think we're good actually. So I've heard a yes. So, alright, hi everybody. Sorry about the technical difficulties. This is John Wee with the Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences. With me is ustwo's David Hernandez, correct?
Well, yeah, it's a Spanish name, so I have two surnames. It's
Okay,
Fernandez and Huerta.
Fernández-Huerta.
Yeah,
So yeah, thank you for being on with us.
Fernandez is all right.
It's all good. I really appreciate it, and thank you for joining us. Every week on the stream, we do an Academy Gaming Hour with different games and talking to different people in the industry. And today is actually a cool day because we just announced the winners for our Into the Pixel Game Art Collection, which you can see on intothepixel.com. And David here is actually one of our winners for Monument Valley, and we're gonna actually show off his piece right here. Um, so this is your piece, David, right? You'll be seeing it on
Yeah,
stream in a
well,
second.
I
Yeah,
can't see the stream, but
yeah. But I guess to begin with, could you just talk a little bit about the piece and what it's about and your inspirations behind it?
this particular one, is this level was like one of the few moments in the game that we actually did some storytelling, uh, rather like, well, visual storytelling. We have some text sequences here and there, but like the story in the game is like really, really minimal, as many things in the game.
Hmm.
So this is one of the few instances where um, things happen that out of your control, um, and yeah, and we wanted like a really strong look for this particular moment, because in the story is a like a very, like, lots of people relate to this particular moment, because it's uh like a yeah, like a really important uh event in the lives of the characters in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, having that massive red wall, and like looks really different from many things in the game. Like it's like everything else is like quite like blocky. This is still blocky, but it's like basically a flat red surface. Um, so yeah, the inspiration really comes from, I know, many places. We have a quite a healthy Pinterest board with lots of inspiration from architecture all around the world. Um, I can't tell what. Probably this is partly a temple in India somewhere. At some point, it looked like some places in Spain. Um, and yeah, and you can see in the background like this kind of mosaics in the wall suggesting this ancient civilization that was lost.
Mm. And is for the whole game, like you have this character in white. Could you explain a little more about um, who she is and like maybe more about like how you were inspired by creating her or the team creating her?
Well, so Ida, our main character in the game, she's defined by other characters as a silent princess. She's, I don't want to give away much of the story, but
Mm.
uh, she doesn't remember what she did. She knows she did. Sorry, she knows that she did something that was wrong, and she's here to right or wrong, basically. So that, yeah, the way we told the story is as I was explaining, like everything is like very uh, minimalistic, and like not only the approach to the art, is also the approach to the storytelling and the approach to the gameplay. Everything comes from the game, the same values,
Hmm.
and so the character is pretty much a blank.
Okay. And hold on. And hello, are you still there? Hello, hello. Hold on, guys. We are experiencing some technical difficulties. We'll be back in 1 second. Hold on. That might work. Hey, David. Hello, hello, hello. Can people see us? Give it 1 second. I know it's lagging a little bit here. Hello. Let me just check on my screen if it's working. I think we're good, actually. I see it. Cool. Hello. Thanks, Little Horn. Hi, everybody. This is John again. Sorry about that. We had some internet problems on both our ends, on my side and David's side. I like the Fez picture, by the way, in the background. David, is that a Fez
Yes.
picture? Is that a Fez artwork on your? Or no, it's an icon. I'm sorry. That's your screen icon.
Oh, yeah. No, it's my icon.
Okay.
It's a very wise whale.
Awesome. All right, cool. Hi, everybody. Again, thanks for waiting. I appreciate your time. Again, I'm here with Into the Pixel winner David, who works at ustwo, who helped out making Monument Valley, which was also a Dice Awards winner. Um, so I don't know where we left off, David, but I don't know if you remember at all or.
I think it was talking about Ida, our main character in the game.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I don't know
Go ahead.
where it cut.
I guess if you just want. Oh, hold on. They're saying you might. It's a little hard to hear you, David.
Okay.
Let
Is
me see.
it better now? Hello.
All right. Just let us know, guys, if you still have a hard time hearing David. We'll try to also adjust it on our side as well. Let me see if I have some volume
Hello.
control.
Hello.
All right. Hold on. All right. We'll continue the interview, but if you guys have any problems hearing David, just let us know and we'll adjust it as we go along. Yeah, I guess can you talk a little bit about maybe the process over at us too? I don't, we don't how big the team is and who you work with in creating Monument Valley.
Sure. So actually, it's a fairly big company that has been around for some time now. It actually is our 10th anniversary this year, but not all of us to make the game. So yeah, Astro is a digital product studio focused mainly on UI and UX for clients around the world. And at some point, Mills, one of the founders, wanted to have I don't know, like an extra bit more to show the world how cool the company is and how many awesome things we do. So they started a games team about I'm not really sure, like 5, 6 years ago. Well, some years ago,
Mm.
and eventually that became like a more professional games team. Like that's when some people from the industry, like myself or Ken Wong or lead designer Dan Gray, our producer, we joined the company to make this like new form of the games team and became Astro Games, which at the time when we made Monument Valley was a team of 8 people. We're now 10.
Yeah.
Um, and that is our QA lead. Come say hi. This is Mike, our QA lead.
It's really slow.
Yeah,
Hi,
it's a
Mike.
bit laggy. Uh,
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I was talking about the company.
Oh yeah, cool.
So yeah, you can go away now. So yeah, we're a team of 8 people. Well, 10 now. And really the special thing about Astro Games is that being part of a larger company, the the project of the team was to make something that people will love without worrying too much. Of course, we always worry, but without worrying too much about money or time. It's just the pitch was, guys, make something awesome that everyone likes, and that's obviously that's really a rare thing in the games industry, but as well is a really hard thing to accomplish.
Hmm.
But yeah, we didn't have the pressure of other companies have, like having a really limited budget. That we, of course, we spend our time and resources as wisely as we could, but
Mm.
the main driving force was quality always.
Mm. And for you yourself, becoming a game artist, can you talk about the journey that you took to get to where you are now?
Well, I've been making games since I was about 13, I guess.
Mm.
With a little program called Click and Play that you could make games without any programming knowledge. And I never thought that could be like a professional uh, career.
Mm.
But eventually, when I studied arts and I was finishing my university career, was the time to decide what to do for a living.
Mm.
And I was like, well, I always uh, liked games, but I think I saw some advert for a job in a website. I think actually it was Quantic Dreams website, saying that they were looking for a games director. Obviously, I wasn't the the type back then,
Mm.
but it was quite eye opening, the things that a role like a game director had to fulfill. So I was like, oh yeah, this looks like something I could do eventually, like in maybe 10, 15 years.
Mm.
Uh, so I decided to start games art to complete my art studies. And soon after, I joined a company in Spain, and I was doing art for games since then.
Cool. And do you mind if
I don't
I
know if that answer,
no,
answers the
no, that perfectly
question.
answered that. I was just curious, like you said you were gaming at a very young age. What was your
Yeah.
first game that you ever played?
That I ever played. I think it must be. I remember my dad having his computer at his workplace, the QBasic games, QBasic Gorilla and QBasic Snake,
Oh wow.
um, and playing that Gorilla game. That was always good. And also remember uh, about the same time playing some adventure games like Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis.
Yes, yes.
Uh, and at that point was when the Master System was around, and my uncle had it, and my brother and sister and I used to play Alex Kidd a lot.
Yeah.
That's probably my oldest memories. So it's not that old,
Hmm.
because I didn't have a console at home until I was, I don't know, like until the Mega Drive came out,
Hmm.
which I think I was like 10 or 12.
And which game would you say really got you into, just video game development?
Um, so I remember playing in an emulator. I think it was the original Pitfall for the Atari,
Hmm.
and it looked like something that it was really fun, but it looked like something that a human being could do. Like it wasn't like out of reach.
Mm.
Like the technology behind it, like of course that was like I know like 15 years after it had came out.
Yeah.
So it looked like something that, and I was thinking, me as a kid thinking, if I could do this, then I don't know, like that'd be cool, right? So that's probably my first memory of ever wanting to be a game developer.
Cool.
And then really soon after, this friend of mine find this game editor I was talking about just before, the Click and Play,
Hmm.
and that was like super easy to use, and everything was like very visual. So I started making games on that, and yeah, and never really stopped.
Hmm. Um, for your, working on art in particular, what are your main inspirations and or who do you most admire
In sorry,
in
in games
in art
or
in art?
in art. Um, that's a really hard question, because it's I guess I tend to like films. I get well. I go to museums. Uh, I do a fair amount of museums, and I regularly watch many kinds of art, if you can say watch,
Mm.
experience. Um, so I know, like many things really. I like lots of things, but
Mm-hmm.
I particularly like old films from the 1920s and 1930s, adventure films. Well, my favorite film is King Kong, 1933.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it has all these things that I like adventure and the magical, the unexpected, and and obviously it's a stunning film. Even now is incredible. It looks gorgeous. Looks like a painting. So
Mm.
yeah, I tend to like classics more than things.
Yeah,
But yeah, a bit of everything really.
that's cool. I have a question from the stream from Finkel Lady.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she the question is they would love to hear advice on a beginning game designer, someone just starting out. What would you suggest?
Mm-hmm. Oh well, that's an easy one. If you want to be a game designer, make games. Right now, there's lots of tools that people can use, and I've never done any programming in my life,
Mm.
and I started learning some coding a couple of months ago, and using Unity, I can make my own prototypes now.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, just download Unity, which is free. We made money in Valley with it,
Mm.
and learn a bit of coding, and that's pretty much it. Just make games and make sure people play your games, not only yourself,
Mm.
because many people just forget that uh, games are meant to be played by other people. Like they have this thing and it works and it's fun for them, but they never really tried with someone else and wanted to make like the best version of that game.
Mm.
So yeah, it sounds a bit like, well, yeah, uh, a bit obvious, but it really is. Like if you want to be a game designer, download a game engine and start making games
Mm.
and play many games, analyze how they're done and the things you like, the things you don't, and just make games.
Mm. And what about for aspiring art students that want to go into the gaming industry? Do you have any tips there that
Uh,
you would suggest from your experiences?
Um, yeah. Well, one of the things that for me worked quite well is an I studied art, so I didn't come from a technical background. Like I came from studying, like came from learning how to paint and how to sculpt and how to do all the things that people have been doing for many years. So
Mm.
when I started working on games, on learning 3D software and and all that, like I instantly noticed that I had an advantage over other students that didn't have that art background. That was just they were
Mm.
just starting to learn 3D, and they didn't. 3D is just a tool, right? So what you do is you use that tool for a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have the purpose, then yeah, it's like being a blacksmith and you have to build a sword, right?
Yeah.
Uh, you have to know what a sword is before you start forging it, right?
Mm.
Even if someone says, well, this is a hammer, and you just hit the anvil with this hammer, and
Mm-hmm.
then eventually a sword will come out. That doesn't work. Like you need to know what a sword is. You need to. So with art for games, it's the same thing. Is you need to know what art is before making art for games,
Mm-hmm.
because art is art, whatever medium it takes.
Cool. And I was going to ask you a question. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if how much you can answer this, but there was a question on stream about from Akshanki. Sorry if I got your name wrong. They were asking about the difficulty level of the game. I don't know how much you can speak to it, but is there a reason why the game was made in the way it was, I guess,
Yes,
and even
yes, there
artistically, like,
is.
and the visually, how it represents that?
Yeah, the difficulty, like, and we got lots of comments about that.
Hmm.
It's surprisingly easy to make hard puzzles,
Hmm.
and that may sound like, oh yeah, you're saying that because all the puzzles in the game are really easy. But we wanted to make a game that people could finish, and
Hmm.
that was really important to us. And in the same way that you watch a film and you watch the whole thing, why should you not be able to see the end of a game?
Hmm.
And for us who have busy lives now and we're not kids anymore, so we can't spend so much time playing games, having a game that you can actually finish is something like really valuable,
Mm.
because you have that sense of closure, that sense of achievement, and being able to experience this whole journey. And of course, many gamers will play a game from start to finish and have that sense of achievement. But other people that are not gamers
Hmm.
uh, will just, I don't know, try a game. And I know many people play games people that play games, but they don't consider themselves gamers or video game players or whatever, and they just play mobile games or more smaller games.
Hmm.
Uh, they they have been, I don't know. It seems like many games in that market space are about being endless and having this infinite loop of doing the same thing over and over and over again.
Hmm.
And we wanted to, because we didn't have, as I was saying before, we didn't have this pressure of, guys, make as much money as you can.
Hmm.
We had this other thing, this just make something awesome. So we thought, why if one of the things that makes this game awesome is that people can finish it.
Yeah.
And and uh, it took us a while to figure this out because, of course, we've been making games. Many of us we've been making games for a long time now,
Hmm.
and we're used to this trope of having like a difficulty curve and having challenge and all that, and that's fine, that's great, but there's another way of doing things, and our first levels were quite hard. Like one of the one of the first levels we started testing took people like 25 minutes to complete, just one of the levels.
Hmm.
um, and they were like, oh, can I stop playing now? And like there was so much content in so little space, and it was like, and really obscure. So, and we started like removing things, and then we figured out, well,
Hmm.
let's just make one puzzle per screen, have several puzzles along a level, and then suddenly people started reacting much better to the game, like enjoying the game and looking at the things and having, I don't know, less distractions.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, we had like at some point, and even with the expansion pack, we thought, well, people want more difficult things. Let's try and do some. And there was this level that took, in an average, like 45 minutes to complete. I
Hmm.
think that it took me like more than half an hour the first time I played. That was designed by
Wow.
another designer in the team, and I played it. I was like, well, yeah, I kind of get what I have to do, but it's like it was just, it wasn't enjoyable. Like
Hmm.
making hard levels is easier than it seems, but making easy levels,
Hmm.
making, it's not about easy. It's about being um, enjoyable and playful, and things that you can do and feel a bit, have that spark of, oh, I figured it out, but it didn't took me so low. So I might be smart.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, but never putting a wall in front of player and yeah, and making them not finish the game, because
Hmm.
then why why are we making games if not for that?
Mm. And for the DLC levels, were they created to be, I guess, a little bit harder and a little bit more challenging because it did seem bigger and it did seem a lot more expansive than the core game itself.
Yeah. In the beginning, we wanted to make them a bit more hard, but it's still when we were user testing the levels, and that's a really important thing to do. And if anyone wants to get into game design, user testing is the most important thing. Like you have to know what the players think and know how the players react to things, and not just see what you feel when you play your own game. So we started making new levels, and we started user testing them, and we went back to that initial phase of Monument Valley when people, when having fun, were like, oh, this is a bit too hard, right? And eventually kind of, it wasn't really like a decision, just gradually and naturally went back to the Monument Valley difficulty. Like it's a bit, the levels are a bit more complex. That we have a couple of new tricks, but overall, like if someone hasn't played the original game, those people will find the expansion levels harder. But now, oh, sorry, this. Let me grab the password for this computer, because the the screen went black.
Oh, no worries. It's okay. All right, guys, we're going to take a little bit of a break right now. Again, if you have any questions, please put us in the chat. We'll be here at least for another 20 minutes or so, playing and talking to David from ustwo Games. And if you're just joining us, hello again. This is John from the Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences, and today we announce all of our Into the Pixel art winners. Hi, David. Can you see us again? All right, awesome. Oh, my water. Okay, yeah, so I think we went over, the company, went over your background a little bit, and I guess a little bit more about, maybe a little bit background about what you're looking forward to. Is there anything in particular that you're excited about for the upcoming 2015, 2016 year in gaming?
Yes.
You can mention your own games as well if you want to.
Well, that's a bit hard because, yeah, we're now in a prototype phase, and we are not sure what our next game is yet.
Okay.
So it's like I think we're all fairly excited about the things we have going on, but we can't be sure yet. But I'm pretty excited about Below by Cappy. That looks incredible. What I'm also expecting, Rhyme from Tequila Works looks great as well.
Yeah.
I'm still not sure how it plays.
And is there anything in terms of Easter eggs, maybe, or special things you put in your artwork that maybe no one's noticed yet, whether it's in the game? Oh, wait, hello? Hello? Oh no, I think the internet went down. No, it's David's internet. Alrighty, guys. Give us a second. We're working on some technical issues. David has some internet problems, so hold on one second. Hello, hello. All right. Well, while we're waiting for David, hold on one sec. I'm gonna turn this off. All right. So while we're waiting for David, thanks, Finkel Lady. While we're waiting for David, let me just give you information about the Into the Pixel exhibit. If you want to see all the winners, there's a lot of great artwork. Go to intothepixel.com. We're going to also be showing the Into the Pixel exhibit at E3. So if you're going to be in E3, make sure to go to the concourse foyer, and you'll see all the artwork there. It's really, really cool. And stop by and say hi. Oh, the call dropped. Sadness. We'll try to get David on to answer a couple last questions. But yeah, please do come by if you are at E3. All the artwork will be there, and you can see all the artwork right now at intothepixel.com. As I say every week too, if you want to see anybody on our stream or us playing any games in particular, just message us here or on Twitter at official_AIAS. And what else is there? We have a couple cool speakers coming up soon too. We have Ashley Birch from Hey Ash, What You're Playing, coming in about 2 weeks, I believe. We have Insomniac Games coming up late June, early July, and a couple other cool announcements coming up in the coming months as well. So do check us out. Uh, yeah, I don't know. What else is there to talk about? I'm waiting for David to come back at this point. So we're going to play a little more of the game. If David doesn't come back, I'll let you know before I sign off the stream. Um, has everyone played the game so far that's on the stream? I'm imagining most of you have. And most of you are fans of S2 games, I'm imagining as well. So I played through the game. I've played through also the DLC levels, which are pretty cool. Enjoyed it a lot. It's a really beautiful game. And yeah, like David was talking about, you can complete the game for sure. Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited to see what's next from them, and what their project is going to be like. Oh, what am I doing wrong here? Nice. I'm hoping one of these days we'll see, maybe not a sequel, but another great mobile game like this from them. Stop staring at me. These crows, I always thought for the longest time would kill you if they touch you, and for better or for worse, they just crow at you, and the sound is really annoying when they crow at you. What is your favorite level in the game for anyone still with us right now? Right, it was on House of Cards, season 3. That and Stanley Parable. Um, Galberin, he talked a little bit about it. He talked a little bit about just the mobile game industry and us2's philosophy on creating games. Again, we'll put this archive on YouTube afterwards. Oh, what's going on? Up, up, up. He might be there. Let's see if we can get him back on.
Hello.
Hey, David. We're still on.
My Wi-Fi died again.
It's
so
okay.
I have a cable now.
That's perfect. Well, we don't. We'll have like about 10 more minutes on stream, but you are still on stream right now, so just letting you know.
All right.
So, what were we talking about? We're talking about a lot of stuff. We're talking about what games you're looking forward to, or what you're looking forward to in the industry. And you were talking about Rhyme. You were talking about what else was there? Below, yeah.
Really looking forward below. Playing below. What else? I want to play. I want to know how the next Mass Effect looks like.
Mm.
And I really want a big reason to buy a new console, but I haven't yet because I don't know, like there isn't like this game that I'm dying to play.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, lately I find myself playing more small games.
Yeah.
Because, I guess because of time and because I have an iPad and it's so easy to play in bed with the iPad and not having to. Well, and I play a lot of Diablo 3.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure. I hope Blizzard announces a new expansion pack. That would be great.
Yeah.
But right now, just Diablo gives me that fix of AAA and not having to think too much.
Mm.
Just clicking on things and seeing explosions.
There was a great question from Galberin on the stream asking about indie gaming on mobile and kind of how us2 fits in that mold. Um, what do you think about the indie gaming market on mobile? Do you think it's a growing market? Do you think it's a, competitive field?
Well, it is a competitive field
Mm,
because the mobile market is so brutal.
mm,
And in response to the other thing, I don't think ustwo Games qualifies as an indie studio
mm-hmm,
because we are independent, but we're part of a big company.
mm,
It's that big company who is independent. We're just a small team in the company, but we have the means to that many indie game developers lack of, and it wouldn't feel fair to compare to people who are struggling every day
mm,
and making such amazing efforts to see their games through. Um, so yeah, I think we're more in a space of single A games.
mm-hmm,
Uh, so obviously we're not AAA, we're small games, but probably not indie.
mm.
But yeah, indie games are of course super interesting. I hate using the word interesting. I always complain when people use it because it means nothing. But but yeah, there's lots of great things and many small games that I play every day. Right now, for me, that is Crossy Road, which
Mm.
because they made so much money, probably doesn't qualify as indie anymore. But but there was just three people when it came out. Uh, so yeah, it's the thing is with everything like
Mm.
is quality and of course it helps if people just see the game and like it. But yeah, you never really know what's going to make your game a success or not. So
Mm.
if you're adapting, just make sure the quality of the game is the best it can.
Yeah. A couple more questions. So we'll do about three
Okay.
or four more questions. Another question on stream. I don't know if you can answer this. Could you give us some tips about choosing a visual language for a game?
Um, so I watched this really interesting. So interesting again. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Uh, I saw this interview, this conference at GDC last year about the art of ninja theory,
Mm-hmm.
and the art director there, Alessandro, he was hired because he wasn't a game artist. He was a painter.
Mm.
So his reference for art are just different from other game artists, and that makes like you can tell if you see a Ninja Theory game that their games look like nothing else in the market
Mm.
because the art director there doesn't care about games art. He cares about art.
Mm.
Um, so if you're making a game and want to make it look special, don't look at games, and maybe that's one answer.
Mm. Let's see. Is there anyone you'd like to thank for helping you with the art piece or your journey so far as a game artist?
Sorry.
Sorry. So, is there anyone you would like to thank um, for helping you create your Into the Pixel winning piece or on your journey as a game artist? Is there anyone that has helped you along the way that you just want to give a shout out to?
Well, of course, without having Ken Wong as an art director in the game,
Mm.
that piece wouldn't have been possible. Also, Will Sykes, who is a programmer here at Astu, made that gorgeous uh, wavy ocean that everyone loves. Um, so yeah, that obviously a big part of this particular piece
Mm.
success, and of course all the people in this company who care about doing something more with their money, which is quite rare.
Mm.
So Mills, the one of the founders, especially, and yeah, on a personal level, of course, uh, there's always people to thank. My wife, my family, been working on a country that is not your country is always a bit hard because you don't get to see your family a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
Without the support, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah. No, very nice. Two more questions, and one is from Amos7707. They ask, could you give us some tips to young art directors on how to research and choose a visual language for their games? I don't know if you addressed that in particular.
So things that we use a lot here: Pinterest boards, Google Image. But for my particular taste, my favorite things are books. I have loads of them at home, and when I'm looking for inspiration, I just look at my books, look at my favorite books, and go through as many of them as I can. Libraries are a good place to find something unexpected. Because with the internet, the problem with the internet is that you can get too attached to your own thing, the things you like and the things you enjoy, and maybe it's a bit harder to get things that are a bit more random within the realm of the things that you like. So going to a library is always healthy. Going to a bookshop, going to museums. Always go to museums, even if you don't know what the exhibition is about. More reason, just try to open your eyes and not be too fixed about the things you like.
And guys, we're about to run out of time, I think, but someone asked about what ustwo's working on currently. You guys said you're working on a prototype, right, of the next game. Are you guys working on any other content for Monument Valley?
So we are working on a new game for Gear VR, the Samsung and Oculus virtual reality headset. The game's called Land's End, was announced a while ago, and that should be out soonish rather than laterish. But we can't talk dates yet. And apart from that, and Land's End it takes a similar approach to Monument Valley in many things, in the way that it's a calm experience and is meant to be enjoyable, and in a way that maybe other games are not. I mean, most games are enjoyable, but for different reasons. So our reason for making games is another kind of joy. The joy of being in a nice place.
And
So that's Land's End, and we have a couple more prototypes going on at the moment. Obviously can't talk about. Sorry. And as for Monument Valley, we may or may not have something to show. So sorry, I can't really tell.
Oh, sadness. But our final question of the day, do you have any art galleries online or profiles where people can follow your work and what you're doing?
Yeah, it's been a really long time since I updated them. That's my website, www.davidfernandez-huerta. That's my full name and 2 surnames.com. David Fernández-Huerta, no hyphen. And also my Behance gallery. Actually, my website is on Behance. Let me see if I can put the link to my website in the comments.
Yeah. Actually, links, I think we have a problem with links in the comments.
Oh,
so
okay.
if you just want to shoot it over, I'll put it on our Twitter and I'll put it on our Twitch as well.
Okay, so I'll send you the URL.
Okay.
You can share it.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And so, yeah, that's awesome. So thank you so much, David. I know it's a little late over there in London, but we really appreciate it.
Fine.
And guys, again, you can check out David's piece Into the Pixel is going to be on display at E3, and it's on intothepixel.com right now. So do check it out. This archive will be on YouTube, and thank you guys all for checking us out. Again, thank you, David, for your time, and
Thanks for having me.
until next time, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. So, see ya.